That was the really scary thing about the Trump stuff. Like when they were trying to get him for 34 felony counts, none of those were a felony. All of them were past the statute of limitations. It was just bookkeeping errors or bookkeeping, they wrote down the wrong things and they tried to hide the fact that he was making hush money payments. But the reality of that legal system being used against you, lawfare being, they target you. Like the real estate one, when they tried to say that he overvalued Mar-a-Lago and it was really only worth $18 million, and so they charged him like hundreds of millions of dollars, which is fucking insane. Because Mar-a-Lago is an enormous piece of property that is on the most expensive place in the country. Like that area, I think he's got, is it more than 20 acres there? I mean, it's a huge piece of property there. And the next door neighbor had a place that was like 5 acres and it sold for $50 million. Just the property.
Yeah. So they fucked him.
They fucked him. And it's obvious that they were fucking him. They were doing it because they were trying to make him a felon when he was running for president.
Yeah, Letitia James went after him really badly in New York.
And it turns out she had done some shit.
Oh, little bank stuff going on. Yeah,
she did some
little mortgage questions. Yeah,
she did some inappropriate things.
But he's whether people like him or not, I don't always agree with him at all. But he's an amazing person. Like to have withstood that, the pressure of that. Again, just as to continue with the pressure that they were putting on him and the way they were coming after him, and to still run again. I mean, it's the fucking craziest thing you're ever going to see in your life.
And they shot him.
And the guy was going to do it again, or tried to. And another guy, and a fucking the guy with the hole in the fence where his golf course was.
Kooky.
It's kooky, but it's like, and somebody pointed out to me, it's like, I mean, I'm surprised he doesn't expect this. It's like he went after them, like he went after the CIA and the FBI, and it's like, they're going to make it their life's work.
I know.
To come after you now.
It's all so crazy when it gets real transparent like that, though. But when someone like Zuckerberg or any of these other people that run afoul of the federal government or the intelligence agencies, when they see stuff like that, I understand why they comply.
Yeah.
They're probably fucking terrified.
It is a little, or very scary when you're on there. Like, you never want them to dig in and be focused on you.
The Eye of Sauron.
Yeah. We're coming for you, and because again, they don't pay legal fees. They can do it all day. They can do it through the next administration. Because Letitia J, she went after, what I didn't like about her was a lot, but I didn't like the fact that they went after Cuomo for his book money. Like, they went after Andrew Cuomo for his book money, I think. They wanted him to get back
For what reason?
I don't know what her reasoning was. I mean, obviously she just wanted to stick it to him and fuck him, but I think it was that it was seen as some form of a government payment, or I don't remember the technicality, but I remember being very annoyed that she was trying to go after. I think it was a $5 million advance.
Lawfare is fucking terrifying. It's terrifying when they do that to people when everybody could see it.
Yes.
Like, that's the real problem with the Trump one. And my problem wasn't, my real problem was, like, don't these people understand? Doesn't the general public, with their lack of outrage, because, he's on the right and they're on the left, don't those people understand that now they've set a precedent and then they could use that on you now?
Yep.
Or anybody else. And if a Republican president gets in, like there's in now, it could be easily used on his opponents because they've set a precedent. That's scary shit, man. It's really scary.
And nobody, again, it's like whether it's with Donald Sterling and privacy, nobody sticks up for each other on principle. And the conservatives don't do it. Like, they've got like the free speech thing in their corner now much more than progressives do. But it's like, I don't hear them sticking up for progressives who are annoying. It's like, you have to stick up for people you don't like.
Yes.
And that you think are shit.
Yes.
It's not just, you're not a big free speech warrior if you only fucking raise a flag for people who agree with you. And I find them falling into that trap, and it's like, don't fall into that fucking trap.
Right.
Stick up for progressives who suck and who are saying stupid things. Defend their right to say it without getting in trouble. Don't look at them getting fired as, well, good, taste your own medicine, like we get it.
Yeah.
But then that's how they justify you getting fired.
100%.
So it drives me crazy that people don't defend other people's right to privacy or right to say what they want. And everyone in the country thinks they're a free speech absolutist, but they're not.
They're not, yeah.
Elon's as close as I've seen. Like, he doesn't seem to be shutting anybody up, like, regardless of what they say on his platform.
People are talking shit about him every day.
I saw one person was alluding to bad things happening to him, like wanting that, or I wouldn't say encouraging it, but close to encouraging it. And I'm like, if he's leaving that up, nobody has any room to complain.
Yeah.
And I got to say, I mean, one of the things, and there was a lot of arguments about Trump, that worries me very, very much is this movement toward authoritarianism and going after media, suing media, taking away the authority that Congress has.
When you say suing media, are you talking about the CBS lawsuit?
Among other things. He has,
right, but don't you think there's a real issue with what they did?
No. In this
you
sense,
don't think that there's a real issue in editing conversations to give
right.
someone an answer
Joe,
that's different than what they really answered?
Joe, I've been on 8 zillion shows, right? In my life.
Okay.
Now, should I sue you if you ask me some stupid question that I don't like, right? Or that you do something? Should I sue you?
Yeah, but that's not what he's getting.
Well, he has sued.
For.
He has sued ABC.
Mm-hmm.
He has sued Meta. He is suing the Des Moines Register because of a poll that came out during the campaign that he didn't like. All right. He is suing CBS for this Kamala Harris interview. So do I think how many? I cannot tell you the number of stories done about me that were not good stories.
Right.
That were dishonest stories. That's what a free press is about. You don't like it, you got to live with it. All right? You do something, I'm not going to sue you, Joe.
Right, but it's not that simple, right? Like, let's not talk about Trump, but let's talk about another candidate. Let's just imagine there's someone on the right and someone on the left, and there's a concerted effort to promote this person that's on the right. And so the polls are rigged, or these are funded polls that make it look like this person on the right is winning by a substantial margin, and what this does is decreases the motivation that people have to come out and vote against them.
That's happening.
So it's fake.
By the way, that happens right now.
It is happening right now, and I think, is that part of what he's suing them about?
No, but doesn't look.
But isn't that what he's suing them about?
Well, he's suing ABC for one thing.
But with the Des Moines Register about the poll.
Yeah, I know the poll's there.
Was the poll incorrect?
Yeah, the poll was wrong. So what? Guess what?
But what did they know it was incorrect when they published it?
No, they published what they thought was an accurate poll. But that pollster, by the way, what's the name? Seltzer polls.
I should just state for the record, I don't know this lawsuit. But
what it was about.
But I am aware that in talking to people that understand polls, that some of these are politically.
All right, but the answer is yes and no. There are polls right now doing exactly what you say.
Right.
I could doctor a poll. I could talk to more conservative, more progressive people, get the results that I kind of want, right?
And they do it to motivate people or demotivate people to vote, and it's effective.
It has an impact. All right. On the other hand, this particular poster, it's the Des Moines Register, not a huge newspaper. I bumped into them because when you're running Democratic primaries, Iowa is a big deal. They are a very, very respected pollster. Okay, they don't doctor polls. So they made a mistake on a poll. It turns out they had Trump doing worse than he ended up doing. Guess what? Posters, honest posters, make mistakes too.
But what is the basis of his lawsuit? Like, what is he saying in the lawsuit?
I think he is saying that gave energy to his opponents and that it was... He's
like
saying,
we talked about.
Like you talked about. But I don't believe that's the case. There are honest pollsters who make mistakes.
But what about the other the other lawsuit with the conversation that they had with Kamala Harris, where they edited the answers that she had to make it look more precise?
60 Minutes, they were suing 60 Minutes.
Yes.
Is, to my mind, historically, been around for a very long time. You know, they're not infallible, but I think you look at most objective people will say 60 Minutes has a sterling reputation for investigative journalism. Are they wrong?
But that's not investigative journalism if you change someone's answers. If you ask her a question and she comes with a rambling answer that doesn't make sense, and you edit that out and insert another answer to a different question that seems more cogent.
All right, Joe, then you're walking down, you're walking down a dangerous path. Suing media has the impact of intimidating media. All right, if somebody sues you, all right, let me finish. All right.
Okay.
Somebody sues you. You know, why not you? You could be sued tomorrow, right? Because you are doing this. You're too sympathetic to this.
Right.
And Joe, you did that, and they have a big law firm behind you. You're going to have to spend zillions of dollars defending yourself. You know what? Next time you do an interview, you say, maybe I'm not going to go in that area.
No,
Right?
but it's not that. It's editing things to make deceptive editing.
Joe,
So in deceptive editing,
I don't
you
know,
give
and
people a different perception of who this
Yeah, I
candidate
understand
is
that.
than reality.
All right, but you
that's
gotta
not
explain-
But that's not objective journalism.
I know, but-
that's campaigning for that
All right,
person.
but
Would you agree with that?
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with your analysis of it. I don't know enough.
I
but,
think that's universally accepted that
well,
that's what they did.
Then you got to tell me why he is suing ABC. Why he's suing
well,
Meta.
let's just talk about the 60 Minutes
no,
one
but
first.
no, but it's not
we
just
could go to ABC, but I'm not aware of that one
Well,
either.
George Stephanopoulos said something that he didn't like. But the point is,
What did Stephanopoulos say?
I can't remember. It was I honestly don't remember. But
Well, I think what he was saying was factually incorrect about the results of one of Trump's trials.
all right, guess what? If I were to sue everybody who said things that were factually incorrect about me, I'd be suing people zillions of times.
Right, but
Joe, what you're saying is, look, does media get it wrong sometimes? Absolutely. Should you have the most powerful person in America suing media? What is the impact of that? The impact is clearly intimidation. He wants to defund public broadcasting. NPR, why is that? Well, because they also will run critical stories of him. This is part, in my view, without getting into any one case, it's part of a pattern that says, hey, I got the power. Don't you criticize me. You criticize me, I'm going to sue you. So it's not whether this show was right or wrong. There are shows every day they get it wrong. It's whether you respect you and other media people to do the best that you can. And if I don't like what you're doing, I'll go someplace else. But I don't like presidents suing media, and then it's, threatening to impeach judges who rule against you. Really? Is that a concern? I think it's a concern.
I agree, that's a concern. Well, my concern is when you have media organizations that are purported to be objective, and then they say things that are defamatory and factually incorrect, and they should know that before they say it. What other course does a person have other than a lawsuit? And isn't it important that you shine the light on what is a political bias
Then the way
from an organization that you would hope would be objective? I think the whole MAGA thing right now is very divided, particularly because one of the things that they voted for was no war. Well, now it seems like we're in a war, right? So, and it's quick. We're 6 months in, and that's already popped off. And then people are very concerned with now what happens to our troops overseas that are in these bases, that are in vulnerable positions, and what happens with, there's supposedly documented terror cells that got in through the open border over the last 4 years. So what happens now in America? What happens on American soil?
Sorry? No, I agree with those.
When a guy like Thomas Massey steps up and says something like that, he's going to have a lot more support as well.
The answer is yes. And my only point is he has a right.
Yes.
Somebody else says, hey, I think the war is a great idea. Fine, that's your
Right.
view. You got to go back. But what bothers me is that if anybody stands up, the next day, we're going to primary. You're out of here, man. And that's the Republicans. Let me talk about the Democrats for a moment, okay? And I don't even know your views on this, so you may disagree with me. Israel was attacked by Hamas. Hamas is a terrible terrorist organization. They killed 1,200 people, which in a small country like Israel is a lot of people. Terrible, terrible attack. It's a war crime. Israel had a right, in my view, to defend itself. But the Netanyahu government did not have a right to kill 52,000 people in Gaza, wound well over 100,000. And right now, as we speak, Joe, children are starving to death because of Israel's blockades.
Yeah.
Starving to death. And I brought forth 2 resolutions, which basically were very simple, and they said no more U.S. military aid to Israel under these conditions. One vote got 15 votes in the Senate, the other one got 16. Do you think that members of the Senate do not know what's going on in Gaza? The kids are starving to death. The innocent people are being shot down right and left. They know it. Why do you think I couldn't get more votes?
They wouldn't vote against Israel.
Right.
It's political suicide.
Now you're talking.
Right.
All right. So in the Republican side, you have moneyed interests saying you speak up against Trump, you're out of here. In the Democratic side, you speak up against the Netanyahu government, you're out of here as well. And they have been successful. You have super PACs like AIPAC spending a fortune. You stand, and they have already knocked off a number of members of Congress, good members of Congress, and they will do it again. So all I'm saying is you got a corrupt campaign finance system on both sides, which is rejecting the will of the American people and end up supporting powerful special interests. And if we do not get a handle on that issue, I worry very much about the future of American democracy.